So welcome to the channel. My name's Evan and I buy stuff at thrift stores and garage sales and sell it on eBay, hopefully for a profit. And on Tuesdays I show you some of the cool stuff that I sold so that you can be on the lookout for it yourself. Except this week we're going to do something a little different. Alright, so here's the deal. I've had this wheel in the background of several of these videos and it hasn't been used in quite some time. So I want to change that. I want to do a giveaway. At some point in this video, I'm going to flash up this piece of paper. It's going to have a number written on it, and all you got to do is email me at the address in the description and let me know what that number was. Make sure you include your YouTube name and all your social media handles, all that good stuff. And the first 14 people that do that will get their name on the wheel. We'll spin it next week, and you're going to win something. I don't know what that is yet. Could be an Amazon gift card, could be a reseller mystery box, but either way, it's going to be worth the 2 minutes that it takes you to enter, and I think it'll be fun. So good luck. I honestly don't remember where I got this book from. It's a practical body MRI, protocols, applications, and image interpretation. I guess it tells you how to read MRIs. Not real sure. I'm thinking maybe I got it from Goodwill. If I see a medical book at Goodwill, I'll typically scan it with the eBay app and see what it's going for. Well, apparently this one's going for some good money, but it did take a while to sell. I'm thinking I maybe paid $1 for it at Goodwill, and it sold for $72.50. This is a Ibanez Metal Charger MS-10 guitar effects pedal. Picked it up when my wife and I were in Raleigh, North Carolina. Paid $5 for it. It didn't have the power adapter with it, so I couldn't test it in the thrift store. But for only $5, I figured it was worth a shot. Brought it home and I had a power adapter that would fit. It powered on. I couldn't hook it up to a guitar to fully test it, but it did what it was supposed to do as far as I could tell. Paid $5 for it, and it sold in a couple of weeks for $70. So I went to a garage sale this past weekend and I got kind of excited when I saw two of these Bose SoundTouch 10s sitting on a table. Kind of got deflated a little bit when I found out the price of them. Got one $50 a piece. Thought that was a little much until I actually looked it up. Sure enough, they were going for some pretty good money. And they had a really good sell-through rate, like 40 something listed, 170 something sold, so it was going to sell pretty quick. Offered him $80 for both of them. He decided to take it, so I paid $40 for this guy, and he sold in 2 days for $145. So I don't mind paying up a little bit if I know it's going to be a quick flip. So if you go into a Disney park, you can buy popcorn, of course, and sometimes it comes in these special edition popcorn buckets. And yeah, it's a popcorn bucket. You put the popcorn in there, and these things are highly collectible. Like sometimes people will wait in line for hours on these special edition popcorn buckets.
How long would you wait to pay $25 for some popcorn?
Not kidding.
Right? Yeah.
Take a look. It is estimated some people waited hours. I saw some estimates, 6 hours. I mean, these lines are crazy. So we got these pictures showing some of the lines this morning. The lines stretched from one side of the park to around a lake to the other. Here's the bucket I'm talking about.
Well, I didn't have to wait in line for this one, thankfully. Paid $1 for it from a garage sale, and it's pretty cool. It's got glow-in-the-dark hands and everything. Listed on eBay, and it sold in 2 days for $74.50. There are some out there that are crazy valuable, though. So this is my one and only time ever finding Teaks. And if you don't know, Teaks is a huge bolo. They typically sell really quick, but for some reason, I've had these for quite some time. I'm thinking maybe it's because it was the size 5 and maybe because they're purple, I don't know. But I paid $6.50 for them from Goodwill and they sold for $100. Took, I think, 3 or 4 months, something like that. You gotta love Nike golf clubs. They don't make them anymore and the price keeps going up. I know I've said that 1,000 times, but it's still true. Picked up this Nike Ignite set of irons from a garage sale and it was like 12 o'clock. I couldn't believe they were still sitting there. Paid $2 a piece, so $14. They're actually in not that great of a condition and they need grips, which typically isn't a huge deal on a decent set of golf clubs. But like I said, I paid $14 for them and they sold for $184. Shout out to my wife for finding this Patagonia Cinchilla pullover, and it's a pretty rare pattern. It's called Protected Peaks. Actually picked it up when we were down at Hilton Head Island on vacation back in January. Paid $6 for it. I actually walked out of that store and looked it up, and comps were, this thing was selling for like $200, $250 bucks. I think I listed it at $225 back in January. I haven't had any interest on it whatsoever. Finally got an offer for $150. I only paid $6 for it. I thought that was pretty fair. Decided to take it. So these vintage Ping Hoofer golf bags can bring some really good money on eBay just by themselves. But this one is really cool because it's from the 1999 US Open in Pinehurst, North Carolina. It's actually Payne Stewart's last major victory before he was killed in a plane accident a few months later. So it's really cool, kind of a part of golf history. I actually found this one in a thrift store. They were using it to hold clubs that they were selling. Well, it was full of a bunch of junk clubs, but this bag was really cool. Asked the lady if she'd sell it to me. She sold it for $10. I listed it on eBay for $200. There were no comps anywhere on Terapeak or eBay, and got an offer of $175. Decided to take it. Pretty cool hat going out. It's made of denim. It's from the American agricultural strike of 1977, so it's pretty old. Obviously made in the USA, snapback. Paid 50 cents for it from a garage sale. Took a while to sell, but it sold for 50 bucks. It always amazes me how fast these things sell. This is a red octane Xbox Guitar Hero guitar. Paid $7 at a thrift store, and it sold in a couple of hours for $85. Probably could have got like $89.99 for them. That's what comps look like, but I wanted it gone quick, and sure enough, it sold in a couple hours. Cool thing about these is the neck actually comes apart, so it's a lot easier to ship. So I love finding G.I. Joe stuff, even if it's broken, and I actually found a box full of vintage G.I. Joe stuff outside of a thrift store that I go to. They only wanted $6 for it, and this is the first thing that sold out of it. It's a Wolverine missile carrier, I think from 1983. It's actually missing some of the missiles. It's got a broken piece right here that could be glued back, but I paid $6 for the whole box. It's the first thing that sold, and it sold for $31. So I sold a cassette tape. This is the Eagles' greatest hits. It was originally $6.24 at Walmart. It's still new and sealed. Still got this security device on it. So I'm wondering if somebody like stole this thing or what. But either way, paid $1 for it at a thrift store, and it sold for $50 on eBay. Took a while to sell, probably 3 or 4 months, but I think it was worth it. This is probably one of the coolest hats I think that I've found in quite some time. It's a vintage NASCAR Daytona International Speedway. Got the Speedy Gonzalez on there. I couldn't find any listed at all on eBay, and couldn't find any that had sold even on Terapeak. I paid $1 for it from a thrift store. Priced it up because I couldn't find any, and it took a couple of months to sell, but it sold for $64.50. It's also brand new. Got the cardboard and everything on the inside.
Did I scare you?
So real quick, if you're shipping a hat, always put it in a box. I use these 10x8x6s. I get them locally, and they're pretty cool because they've got these lines, so you can make it into a 10x8x4. You can flip it over, make it a 10x8x2 if you're mailing a book or something. Pretty handy, and they're only like 50 cents a piece. I also take the hat and put it in a bag. I use these gallon twist tie bags from Walmart. Put them in a bag, put a thank you sticker on them, throw them in the box, and you're good to go. But always use a box. Helps protect the hat, especially a collectible one like this. So this is a front emblem or grill emblem for a GMC Yukon or Sierra. Pretty easy to identify, not to mention it's got a part number on the back here. But I paid $1 for it from a church yard sale, and it sold for $44 in a couple of weeks. Got a jersey going out. You guys already know I have an obsession with jerseys. If they're good quality and they're stitched, I'm going to pick them up. Typically they're $4.75 at our Goodwills. This is a Nike New Orleans Pelicans Zion Williamson jersey. I didn't know that when I bought it. I just knew that it was Nike. It was good quality and stitched lettering. Paid $4.75 for it, and it took about a month to sell. Sold for $27. So not as great as some of the ones I've found, but still made some money. So usually when I find football helmets, they're basically trashed. Like they've been used and abused and just kind of donated to a thrift store. But this one was in pretty good condition, and the inside looked really good. I don't know much about helmets, so I decided to look this one up, and there's actually a model number on a sticker on the inside, so they're pretty easy to look up. Look this one up. There was one listed and like 30 something had sold. Sure enough, I brought it home, paid $2 for it from the thrift store, and it sold for $69.50 in 2 days. This is a Baby Doppler Sono Line B fetal heart rate monitor. And I've sold these before. They always sell really quick. It's basically you use it to listen to your baby's heart before it's born. I actually tested it out by listening to my heart and my daughter's heart. It's kind of cool. But I paid $7 for it from Goodwill, brought it home. There were none listed, and like 40 something had sold. Sure enough, it sold in a couple of hours for $52.50. I guess it's getting closer to Christmas because this guy just sold. This is a vintage 1998 Looney Tunes Tasmanian Devil single stitch made in the USA t-shirt. Paid $1.50 for it from Goodwill, and it sold for $22. This isn't a brand that I've actually found very often, but it's one you should be on the lookout for. This is Exotics by Tour Edge. I paid $5 for this 3 hybrid, and it sold for $70 in a couple of weeks. Sold a Roku, paid $6 for it from one of those Amazon bin stores, and truthfully I've kind of had it laid around my office for probably about a year now. Just was kind of keeping it as a backup because we have Rokus on some of our TVs, but honestly all of the new TVs now just kind of have them built in, so I couldn't really find a use for them. Plus I was cleaning up the other day, so I decided to list it. Paid $6 for it, and it sold on eBay in a couple of days for $42. You guys may remember this from my last video. This is a 56-degree ripstop wedge. It's actually illegal for use in USGA tournaments. It's got a special surface on the face here. It feels basically like a foul. Causes the ball to have an extreme amount of spin and actually backs up on the green. I paid $2.99 for it from Goodwill. Sell-through rate on these things are really good, and it sold overnight for $40.